These cinnamon rolls were made in less than 30 minutes with a 2-ingredient dough and hardly any prep time at all. Let me show you how to do it. 2-ingredient dough cinnamon rolls have 2 ingredients for the dough and then a couple of ingredients for the filling. And then obviously if you want to spread some frosting on top, you've got ingredients for that. Still very easy, quick, and you're not going to believe how simple this is. So what I have here is 2 cups of self-rising flour, just like we're always using. I am obsessed with 2-ingredient bread. Right now I have an entire list of 2-ingredient breads I want to do. Okay, so 2 cups of flour, and then we're going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. We may need to add another ½ cup as we go along. And we're going to mix this right in here. I think that one of the things about the 2-ingredient breads is that the flour is often difficult to get mixed in to the liquid, or the liquid is difficult to get mixed into the flour. So, as I said, between 2 and 2½ cups. You don't want your dough to be too dry or you're not going to have tender cinnamon rolls. Okay, and I'm just going to get my hands in there a little bit and knead them a little bit until I have a ball of dough that sticks together, but it's sticky. If you've made any of the other 2-ingredient breads that I've done videos for, you will recognize that this is a lot stickier than they are. But that's because it's a cinnamon roll and not bread. Give it a little, just a little gentle knead like you would biscuit dough. My hands are starting to feel icky. All right. Flour your counter just lightly, and then we're going to roll this dough out into a thin rectangle. You want to be very gentle with this dough and not crush it, because you want it to be kind of fluffy and light, and if you mash it together, it's not going to be. And this particular recipe is only going to make maybe 4 or 5 cinnamon rolls. This is a small batch recipe. Generally, if I'm making like the regular kind of cinnamon rolls, I make 24 at a time. But this is just for, you know, if you're sitting at home and you want a little snack, these kind of come to the rescue. I want to roll this up the long side. So that's our 2-ingredient dough. Next, we're going to use the cinnamon and the sugar. Now, you can, and I'm going to, add some melted butter to the top to make it more gooey, but you don't have to. Of course, if you don't, everybody's going to judge you. Okay, I'm just going to brush the dough with butter like I would if I was making regular cinnamon rolls. And you want to have your oven preheating while you're putting this together. Once I get the butter on there, I'm going to do a layer of sugar. I usually, and I'm using brown sugar, I usually don't measure, I just cover. I'll try to estimate for you. It looks like I'm going to use about 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. And you want to get it all the way to the edges, because you don't want anybody to get a bite that doesn't have some of the good brown sugar in it, right? And then we're going to we're going to sprinkle on about 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Or if you really like cinnamon, feel free to add more. That's another thing I don't measure. Okay, make sure that's spread around real well. And then we're just going to take it from here and fold it over, and then just keep folding it over. It's going to break a little bit because, again, this is not a yeast dough, but it'll work for you. Here. There. Now, see, I've got a little tear there. That's going to be just fine. You watch. Y'all, I'm standing here talking to y'all, telling you how to cut cinnamon rolls and all of that, and the video wasn't running. So I found out before I was all the way finished what I said. No, I'm not embarrassed. What I said was the easiest way to cut cinnamon rolls, regular ones or these kind, is with a piece of string or dental floss. And you just slip it under to about the width that you want to cut it. Then you cross the strings and pull each side away. And that cuts it just like that. Beautiful cinnamon roll. Always put them cut side down, and I mash them down a little bit. I also said that this makes about 6 cinnamon rolls, which is what we've got. Cut side down, mash it down, and one last one. Okay, so they're mashed in there like that, pretty tightly. I'm gonna take a little more of the butter and just brush it over the tops. Some people like to drizzle a little of the heavy cream over there. I don't usually do that. And then we're just gonna put them in a 375-degree oven for about 20 minutes, and I'll be back. I just got these out of the oven, and boy, do they smell good. Oh, cinnamon, sugar, all the good stuff. And look, they look like regular cinnamon rolls. So what we're gonna do now is, this is when you're gonna put your frosting on them. I always frost cinnamon rolls hot. That way the frosting kind of melts in and it gives it kind of a glaze. If you wanna wait till they cool, you can do that, but this is how I do it. And this is just some confectioner sugar or powdered sugar with melted butter and a little vanilla that I forgot to add. Be right back. I can't believe I forgot that. Just trying to hurry. Okay, that's about a half teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm just gonna stir that in. And what I do is I melt my butter, and then I stir the powdered sugar in until it's thick. Then I just spoon it on the cinnamon rolls, and you just plop it on and spread it while it's hot. If you want to put pecans in them when you roll it up, you can. I think for this dough, it's a little hard on the dough to have the pecans in there. So if I'm going to put pecans on them, I'll usually put them on like now with the frosting and just sprinkle them on top of the frosting. Now with these, I don't think I'm even going to wait for them to cool. If you love gooey cinnamon rolls, but you don't have all day to make them, these are a great substitute. They're a quick bread, so they are a little more crumbly, but they are soft and sweet and delicious. They are so good. The only thing is, I strongly suggest that you let them cool down, because someone here got in a hurry, and I can tell you that if you only let them cool for 3 minutes, they don't look as good as they did. Just to be full disclosure here. But look at that. Swirls of cinnamon and sugar, all of the frosting, delicious. If you want to make it super easy, get canned vanilla frosting and melt it in the microwave. You have to take it out of the can first, I think. But you can melt it in the microwave in a little bowl and swirl that on there. Delicious, and it goes together fast. Really, for an afternoon with your coffee, if you happen to be alone in the house for the first time in, I don't know, 30 years. Or if you get up and you feel like treating your family to something yummy, these are great for that, all right? All right. I hope y'all love them. I hope you try them. And I hope you get as obsessed with this 2-ingredient dough as I am. I've got all kinds of things that I'm working with and trying, and it's just so much fun. I will see y'all next week. I hope you come back. I hope you love this. And I'll talk to y'all later, okay? Love y'all. Bye-bye. These cinnamon rolls were made in less than 30 minutes with an easy 2-ingredient dough and hardly any prep time.